Okay, you're good, Brooke.
Good. All right, so let's move on. We're going to go with session 9. This is the last one in our environmental series, and it's about expectations and transitions.
We need to go.
Oh, yeah, sorry. The materials are right there. I did my fun little game. And then,
That was very good.
Right, it would serve me well.
no, you're all right. All right. We'll start over. All right, so this time we're really going to start session 9. The topic is expectations and transitions, and it's going to be the last one, like I said, in our series of kind of like supporting that environmental piece. We're going to thank our partners, the Division of Human Services, Department of Human Services, which includes the Division of Child Care, Division for Developmental Disabilities, Division of Behavioral Health, Division of Child Welfare, Colorado Health Foundation, the Temple Deal Foundation, and Mile High United Way. So if you get a chance to meet any of those people, tell them to. Our agenda for session 9 will be going over the learning objectives. We're going to really get into the details of giving directions to kids and how do we do that effectively. And we're going to do an activity with a partner that's pretty fun to exemplify that. We're going to talk more about rules and expectations, what's the difference between them and how do we teach them. We're going to do an activity about introducing rules, which will be a nice one that you can personalize for your working with the children that you're specifically working with. Then we're going to get into the piece about transitions. How do we plan for smooth transitions? We're going to do a pair and share activity together about kind of problem solving for some transitions that we have in our lives. And then we're going to talk a really important piece about punishment versus prevention. We have some great examples for that. And then we'll wrap up with our thought seeds and the quality improvement. So the goals for today are to talk about how can we provide universal prevention strategies to children. These are going to reduce challenging behavior. How do we know this? It's evidence-based. We've had lots and lots of children going through these programs, ranging in the spectrum of abilities, and we know that they work. And you guys have even been trying some of them at home, and I think you're seeing the differences too. But how specifically from this, you know, we talked a lot earlier about putting on your detective hat. Today is all about putting on your prevention goggles. We're doing everything ahead of time, thinking, planning to prevent challenging behavior so that we just don't even have to deal with it. That's what the bottom layer of the pyramid is all about. Just chipping it away so it never even happens. And that really gets explicitly expressed in giving directions, teaching expectations and goals, and dealing with transitions. And the last thing we're going to do is, like I said, talk about that piece on punishment versus prevention, and kind of just look at it with those prevention goggles and what it does to kids and how it makes a big difference in what kind of behavior we see with each of those techniques. Our ground rules are be on time, open communication, time for questions, avoid side conversations. I know we've been in it for the long day, but does anyone feel compelled to add anything? You guys are a good group. The parking lot, like I said, if things come up today and you would like to add something onto it or get more information or get a sample, in fact, I should add on Penny that board just so I remember. I'll put that on a schedule board, please. And then for your handouts today, we have a lot of nice handouts in this expectation and transition piece because I feel like this is a place where lots of things can go wrong. But it's also a really great place where you can feel really accomplished and proud when you get it right. So the first one's a great, 9.1 is a great article about helping children follow directions at school. I mean, I think this would be useful even in the elementary school. Kind of breaks it down into steps about what kids need to know in order to be able to follow directions. 9.2 is another handout about transitioning between activities, which just highlights some more things, but really a valuable read. The third one is helping babies make transitions. I mean, how often do we forget to think about little babies and what they're capable of doing, and this is a really good technique for using to help babies get through those transitions. 9.3 is some transition activities. We've been practicing a lot of those today and giving you some ideas that are kind of out of the box beyond just the, if you're wearing a blue shirt, you know, go get a drink of water kind of thing. But what are some different ways that you can incorporate learning opportunities into transition times? And I think that's kind of what 9.3 is about, is we don't have to view transition times as a time where nothing valuable happens, we're just getting from A to B. It can actually be something that we're learning while we're doing it. 9.4, like I said, not all of the activities units have checklists, but this does, and it's a really great one, and it breaks it out by age groupings, so you can take a look at that checklist later and see how, what areas you might want to improve on. The last one on the back is an action plan. We'll work on that in a little bit. And 9.5 just has some additional resources if you'd like to jump online and find some more activities. There's also a lot of free downloadable things on here. Stop signs, some of the other techniques we're going to see in here. You can hop online and print them out if you want to make some for your use. Everyone's okay going ahead and eating while we're doing it, and I'm fine with that. And please help yourself get up and get more if you'd like to, or throw your plates away, or if you need to use the restrooms. We'll try and take a break in a little bit since we're just eating. We'll probably need a restroom, but you can use either end even though the doors are locked today. So like I said, session 9 is the last one in this kind of leafy piece of the environment right here. It really is a prevention piece, and that's what the green means we're looking at. Children are less likely to engage in problem behavior when they know what to do, how to do it, and what is expected. I mean, it's so simple, but it's so brilliant at the same time. Quite often we forget, and we end up telling kids what not to do so much of the time that we forget to tell them what they should be doing. And when we don't give kids that framework of expectations, they get creative, and it can get frustrating. But the fact is, it's our job. If the kids are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, it's all on me. I mean, Molly and I just the other day, I mean, circle time has turned into a total nightmare in 2 days. And we had to problem solve. What do I need to do differently? Do I need to move kids, you know, strategically position? What do I need to teach them? What do we need to reinforce so we can get back on track for circle time? But it's not the kids' fault. It's all on me, and that's what we need to look at. So when we're giving directions to kids, you can look at that handout. It has some great ideas. But these are some of the basic components for giving directions. And it seems silly to have to say it, but just looking at the child to get their attention, to give them a direction, is probably 90% of the battle. Just like Vanessa said earlier, hollering across the room to someone does not ensure just because you said it that they heard it, that they processed it, that they understood it, that they're going to do it. So we need to get their attention. We need to give the directions positively. We're not telling them, don't climb on the counter, we're telling them our feet stay on the floor. You need to tell them what they should be doing. And if it's possible, give them some choices. When the directions need to be given, especially for the younger kiddos, short, simple, and specific. Not too many words, give them time to process in between, what do you want them to do, and let them think about it and get going with it. As always, I mean, no matter who the kid is, we need to individualize if they need help. Some kids need transition objects, some kids need longer time to think about it, some kids can't handle 3 directions at once and they need to just get 2. Whatever we need to do, some kids, they just forget all the time, so we need to give them those pictures. Whatever we need to do to help them be successful. Kids love choices. They feel like that became they owned it. It wasn't you telling them what to do, it became their choice. And they did it, so they're much more likely to cooperate and much less likely to use challenging behavior. This is a really big one that adults, I think, often forget, is waiting after you ask them what to do. It takes a really long time for kids to hear it, think about it, decide what they're going to do. In all actuality, we've been doing the class lessons. They recommend 7 to 10 seconds. It's a long time. But truly, adults are fast, and we think fast. And if you try it, I encourage you all to try it. Because when you do, you might find on that 6th second is when they actually start talking or start moving. And we just didn't give them credit that they just needed that time to process. So that wait time is huge. And it just turns that opportunity in for something that was a nag and a withdrawal into something that just became an opportunity to give them positive feedback because they're doing what you ask them to do. So wait time can be the difference between that being a positive experience or a negative. And making sure that we're acknowledging that positive behavior when they do it. Just because you said go put your plate in the trash and they got up and did it doesn't mean we don't want to tell all the kids that are following the rules that we see it and we notice that they're doing it. And watching your tone. My daughter says it all the time to me. Stop yelling at me. And I'm not yelling at her. I'm just talking in a I mean it kind of voice. But to her, she hears yelling. So we have to watch when we're talking to the kids that we're keeping it still. Oh yeah, and I just had a little girl the other day. She was really goofing around with circle time. And I reminded her of the expectations and what we needed to do, but I don't think I've ever talked to her in a serious voice. And she went home and told her mom that Miss Brooke was mad at her. I really wasn't mad at her, but I just had changed my tone, and all of a sudden the little girl thought, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble. But I was just referring to the rules. But anyways, the most important one, if it's not a choice, don't make it one. Don't say, do you want to put your shoes on? It's not a choice. We need to put our shoes on. I think parents fall into this trap a lot, and you'll watch them do it, and you're like, don't ask if they have to do it, but it's just something we can remember when we're doing directions. Okay, so we're going to do this super fun activity. Actually, let's pass out the little cups first. I'm going to give you one more fun transition idea, because I don't think that transitions necessarily need to be limited to colors and shapes. They can be science experiments, why not? So our activity today is going to be a lesson in giving directions. And you're going to partner with your table mate, and you're going to turn your chairs so that the backs face each other and you can't see each other with your eyes, okay? And you're going to take your cup, this is a cup of vinegar, and you're going to take it over to your, there's a green tray right here that's full of baking soda. You're going to dump your vinegar on the baking soda, and you can watch it, it's fun. And then you can take a bag of Legos. Each person gets their own bag of Legos. Oh, there's one, we just need to mark, there's one that is a little different thing. But anyways, take your bag of Legos, And you're gonna pick one person to be the direction giver and one person to be the direction follower. And without looking at the person, you're gonna tell them to build a structure, just giving verbal directions. Okay? And if we have time, we'll switch it and you can have fun, but at least we'll just do it one time.
I like the Lego. I do this with kids, drawing a picture, but this is how you do it Lego.
Cool. So does anyone have any questions before we get started? Okay. Let the science experiment begin. So you can come up and grab.
So we just pour it on a
Yeah. Or pour it anywhere. Dump it good.
So we're just gonna dump. Yes.
Oh, there it is.
My kids' hands will be all over this.
These two people need to be a partner
Okay.
because the pizza.
Okay. Now that you say that, I'm pretty sure they were.
Yeah, I'm like, I can totally see that. He is the experimenter.
We did this in 7th grade, but it was, the teacher was in front of us with a loaf of bread, peanut butter.
Oh, yeah, we had to do that in 6th grade.
And so she did it, and it was totally, I'll never forget, Mrs. Wicker, and so she did it, and like,
I remember he did it, and the people said, put the peanut butter on the sides. And so he put it on the like little tiny sides. And I went, no, that's not what I meant. And he's like, your direction.
So I did it with kids, and they drew a picture, and the pictures were always hilarious. Oh. You know, because like I give them a picture, and
Have
then
you
they
ever
would
seen
like,
that one?
tell them what the picture, you know, yeah, how to draw it was really fun.
that's fun, it is
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, it's a good one.
Okay, so then turn your chairs. So
All right,
you're-
then you have direction.
and then choose who wants to be the direction.
You want to be the builder?
To build or you